Welcome to my roleplay fashion commentary video. And in this video, I'm going to go over all of my past outfits that I've used in like videos or just in random stuff. I'm going to go over what I use so you guys can recreate it if you wish. And I'll go over like the reasoning why I use the outfits and the pieces to kind of create something that works. And also, this is just another reason why ArenaNet should give us wardrobe templates on top of build templates, because being able to swap between these is pretty important, I would think. But anyways, let's move on. So the first outfit we're going to look at is like a fire kind of goddess, and the idea for this was in the video it was going to be a sort of like a Balthazar sort of disciple. So yeah, just someone who's very fiery, and you can see I've got the ether-bound shoulders and the Flame Legion gloves, which really have that nice fiery theme to it, but it's not too over the top. Like, you want to get the fiery theme in there, and then you don't want to overdo it. So what I do is I get the Triumphant Hero leg guards because those are kind of subtle, and then I go with the Requiem boots because those are kind of lit as well. And then obviously the sun aspect eye, because Balthazar is the god of flame, and that's kind of what you think of when you see the sun. So yeah, I'm also using Incinerator because that just makes sense, right? That's the one thing that you would use. That's the only dagger you could use, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this outfit. I think it's pretty decent all around. I probably would not use it again though, because I'm not too big a fan of this sort of fiery theme, because a lot of people usually do it. But I think that this is probably one of the best iterations of that theme, so it's pretty nice. And the next outfit is going to be sort of like a Shing Jea Monastery Assassin from Guild Wars 1. So the outfit from like the starter zone of factions in Guild Wars 1, I sort of tried to recreate it, and it's just kind of sort of like a ninja kind of look to it, with the assassin shoulder pads. You've got like your daggers ready, and I'm using the mythic dagger as well because that's just a really good dagger. This is all around just pretty simple set. There's not really much to it, and that's kind of, I think, how the character of a ninja should be, right? They shouldn't want to stick out. They should want to be subtle. So, and yeah, the assassin's mask is just a really good headpiece. Like, it just has like the perfect shape for like a ninja kind of look. So, and you're gonna see in the future outfits that I'm using the assassin's mask a lot because it's just a really good mask. Yeah, pretty good. I used this in my video that was all about double daggers, because Guild Wars 1 assassins, they use double daggers, and I wanted to make an homage to that by recreating a Shing Jea Assassin. So there's that. And the next outfit is going to be a little bit more influence from another game called World of Warcraft. This is a sort of like a Naga queen look to it, based off of Ashara. And yeah, I actually played retail WoW a little bit earlier this year, or was that last year? That was last year. And the current patch of WoW was the Nazjatar patch, right? So you got a lot of the lore about the Naga and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of like recreate a sort of humanoid Naga look to it. So what I have is the Blossoming Mist Shard bracers and shoulders, which kind of look like coral, and then the Perfected Envoy boots also have that kind of coral look to it. And obviously the Endless Ocean staff is very Naga looking. So yeah, it's a pretty good looking set. The Heart of Coda chess piece has these gems on it that look very nice. And yeah, I like the blue and the white. It's very ocean looking, right? And the sun aspect eye is sort of a reference to the whole World of Warcraft mechanic of Azerite, and how you kind of like collect this world power to try to save Azeroth or something like that. And that's kind of like what the plot of is in the video where I use this wardrobe outfit. It's kind of like you're trying to save the world, and yeah, so it's a pretty interesting outfit for that video. And the next outfit is going to be using the same kind of look to it. It's actually, but it's more of a Guild Wars 2 influenced outfit. It is a Zephyrite. So it's kind of got the same idea with the Heart of Coda chess piece and the sun aspect eye, but instead of going with the whole coral and like ocean theme, I went for more elements, because the Zephyrite are all about like sun, wind, and I think lightning, the other one. So the luminous shoulders give off this sort of this like I can fly, basically. It sort of suggests that. And the Zephyrite are all about, you know, verticality. And obviously the sun aspect eye is about the sun. They were very much about the sun too. Storm gloves, that's lightning. The storm dagger as well, that's just more lightning. And then I have the wind catcher backpack, which is literally just a Zephyrite skin. And yeah, it's just a pretty cool outfit that has a little bit of more Guild Wars 2 lore to it. So it's a nice outfit that actually fits within the world, right? So that's really nice. And the next outfit is another Guild Wars 1 themed assassin outfit. It's actually a Vabbian Assassin look. So when you in Guild Wars 1, when you went to Vabbi, you could buy this prestige armor, like 15k armor set, and it looks sort of like this. There's a lot more spikes on the legs and the hands, but it does have this very nice sleek look to it that I wanted to recreate in Guild Wars 2. And yeah, the emblazone pants are really important here, because as you can see, the dye channel is actually dyed the blue color, the shadow turquoise, but it ends up being black at the top of the pants and like blue towards the bottom, even though there's not two dye channels. So it's kind of weird. You have to like, I like those pants because they have a really nice texture to them, but you have to kind of find the right dye to get it kind of like takes like two parts of the dye. It's kind of weird how it works, but it, in effect, what I got here is a really nice gradient on the legs, and it sort of, it gives it that sleek look that I wanted from the Vabbian set from Guild Wars 1. One thing to mention here is the shadow turquoise color is really good, because it's not a like shadow abyss, right? It's a black color, but it's got that little tint of blue in it, so that it still leaves some textures there. As you can see in the shoulders, like the black parts, there's still a little like blue in there. I don't really like Shadow Abyss as a dye because it basically removes textures. You'll see I use a lot of permafrost, and you could say that it does the same thing, but because it's a white instead of a black, it still leaves some of the textures. So yeah, moving on to the next outfit. So this is more of like a old kind of like Titan look to it, where it's sort of like something that originated the planet, and it's like beyond, you know, it just looks kind of robotic in a way. And yeah, it's just using the Mist Shard chest guard to kind of get that metallic look to it, and the Falconer's set as well with the leggings really match with the Ascended skin boots, because as you can see, there's like this pattern of like plating on the legs, and then it gets to the boots, and then there's the kneecap, and then it looks like it keeps following down into the boots, so it really matches well. I really like that leg and boot combo there because of that reason. So yeah, it just kind of looks like my whole leg is sort of like robotic. So I guess it could be like a robot sort of, or like a cyborg outfit as well. And yeah, I'm using the assassin's mask. You could use something else. I just didn't find anything better. So there's that. And the timekeeper's pistol, I was also using that because that sort of looks like someone who travels through time, or something like that. You know, very futuristic look to it. So yeah. And I'm using permafrost dye, as I said before. But the textures on the chest piece aren't really that important. There's still pretty decent look to them. And plus the look that I'm going for is also kind of trying to be sort of like that anyways, so it works with permafrost. And so this outfit is pretty standard. It's just kind of going for like a scholarly look, you know, like I read books or tomes, and it's just using the Luminous set, which takes like 6 years of birthday presents to get, with the reading glasses, and it's just pretty straightforward. It looks like, you know, you're pretty smart. You know, reading glasses make you look like you know, you're smart. So that's pretty much the extent of it there. It looks pretty classy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The next one, we're actually getting to one of my classic outfits. So back in World v World days, like when I used to GVG, this is the set that I used, and this is the sort of like a Krytan Adventurer. So I'm using the Krytan jerkin and the Krytan leggings, which obviously they look good together because they're part of the same set. But I also went with a little bit of a like feathery theme to it as well, with the illustrious shoulder guards, which have like this kind of feather thing on one side, and then the privateer hat, which has a little you know, feather in the hat as well, and the fedora basically. And then I have the Rox's quiver as well, which the arrows on that are a little bit feathery as well. And then obviously this is made to match the Dreamer, because this is one of my my first legendaries that I made. So this is one of my first outfits that I made to match the legendary, a really long time ago, by the way. And I'm using pastel rose and evening wine dyes because I tried to make something that would match the Dreamer. So in a lot of cases you will try to find an outfit that will match a weapon, right? Because you can't change the colors of your weapons, and this is definitely a case for that. Though you can also do like trying to make your weapons match your outfit, but either way, it's kind of hard to balance that sometimes. Yeah, so this outfit is what I wore in World v World back in the day, before the wardrobe system came out. But this next outfit is the one that I wore in PvP. So how the wardrobe kind of worked before, well, how your skins worked before the wardrobe came out. When you zoned into PvP, you'd have a completely different skin set, right? So I'd wear this in PvP, and then the Krytan one in World v World. So this is more of like a queen sort of look to it. It's very sort of like a Shining Blade guard. So it's using the tier 2 Falconer's coat and the Falconer's leggings, which are very like Divinity's Reach kind of look to it, very royal. And then the Council Watch boots, which are from Caudicus Manor, so it has this very regal look to it, right? So that's why I'm using regal dye. It is a metaphor for the kind of look, but it also matches pretty well. You'll notice that I use a lot of blues. Blue is my favorite color, so that's why I use that a lot. But back in the day when I was using this, Regal was kind of like the blue that I used, But now that enameled sky has come out, I use that instead as like my blue. So you'll notice I use enameled sky a lot in these outfits because it's just my favorite color of blue. So that's definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, I also use the Wreath of Cooperation. Back in the day, I actually used the crown that you get from Guild Wars 1 Hall of Monuments. But I've changed this outfit a little bit since then because I feel like this looks a lot better. You know, I've got a lot better skins since then. I didn't change the blue though because I wanted to give a little bit of homage. But yeah, that crown that I used back in the day, it looks pretty bad because you couldn't dye it, and yeah, that's pretty. It just looked kind of bad, but it kind of fit the theme, right? Fitting the theme is sometimes better than looking good, and in this case, I can do both, right? Because the wreath is something that shows, you know, status as well. Next, you know, I main thief, but I do play Necromancer and Guardian a lot, and I do really like their outfits. And one thing that is kind of actually funny is that I really never changed my Guardian and my Necromancer's outfits throughout the like entirety of the game because I just found something that I liked, and I never really strayed from it, except maybe like when a new skin comes out that really fits that look better, then I'll use that instead. So like for example, this is my Necromancer, and I've used the monocle since that came out a really long time ago. The Deathly Avian Mantle, I just recently started using that because it was really expensive and I got it from a wardrobe unlock. But the Heritage Coat and the Heritage Pants, I've basically been using since the game came out on my Necro. And obviously Stately Footwear is kind of just whatever. You could kind of use any boots. And Aristocrat's Livery, I think that's the gloves, right? You can't really see the gloves with the Heritage Greatcoat. But yeah, basically the Heritage outfit that you see right there is what I've just used on my Necro. And it's kind of going for like this Edgar Allan Poe look, right? Because the Necro's name is Edgar Allan Poe. And that's the reason why I use Nevermore as my staff skin. Because, well, first of all, it's a really good staff skin. But also because, you know, there's roleplay value there, right? To have Nevermore and that little raven on my shoulder while I'm being named Edgar Allan Poe. And Evening Wine is a really good purple. Actually, like most Necros want to be a greenish color, but I've always had my Necro be a purple color. And the black that I use has always been Midnight U, which is like kind of like a muggy kind of black. It has this like, it looks moldy, right? Like it has that greenish tint to it because, you know, it has to have that kind of like horror feel to it. And then obviously silver because it just has a really nice look to the outlines there. But yeah, I really like this outfit, and I'll probably never change it throughout the whole game because, you know, I've gone like this many, you know, several years without changing it. Why start now? So next, my Guardian. So my Guardian's outfit has kind of evolved a little bit since the game came out. So I started using Draconic, which is the crafted set on my Guardian, which is sort of like this dragon kind of look to it. And I just really liked how it looked. It wasn't amazing, but I just liked it, and I kept using that. And my sort of character identity was like a dragon knight, sort of like a, you know, this like the whole dragon thing wasn't too fleshed out in Guild Wars 2, but, you know, I was just like, let's make my Guardian a dragon knight. And then later, ArenaNet comes out with this, you know, the new elite spec called Dragon Hunter, and it just kind of worked out for Guardians to be like this dragon knight thing, so I just kind of stayed with it, and I never really strayed from that kind of look. I have changed it quite a bit though in terms of what the actual items I've used. the whole time. So I use the ice crown because I'm actually going for more of a kind of like a Lich King look right now. Um, I'm using the refined Envoy Pauldrons, which isn't the legendary. It's actually the precursor, because the precursor actually looks better than the legendary, and I don't like the effects anyways. And then the elegy plate, I used to use the carapace chest piece. Now I'm using the elegy plate because it looks a little bit more bulky to kind of match the rest of my outfit. And the mist ward warfists and leg guards, because they're very like, they kind of look toothy, right? Like a dragon kind of look to them. And obviously the paws of Coda, I've used these for a really long time on my guardian. They just are really nice boots because they have that like substance to them, and it's not too out there, but it's solid. And as you can see, I'm also just using enameled sky. Um, Again, like I just use that dye everywhere. And darkness dye is also something that I've gotten on very recently. It's kind of like a better version of like Shadow Abyss, right? It's really dark, so you get that nice contrast, but it also isn't too dark that you lose the texture from your outfit. So as you can see, like the kind of like butt cape thing I have there in the back, you can still see like the creases in the cape, which is really nice because that's, you want to see textures because it's more detail, it's better graphics. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my characters. But since it's Valentine's Day, I'm gonna give you guys one extra outfit. I'm gonna give you guys a Slut Mog. That's right, a Playboy Bunny thief outfit. I'm just using the bunny ears, the under boob, and I've actually got a new skin for the pants and the shoes, which are the Raven Ceremonials, which are basically from the new map. You get them from like, I think it's like the strike mission or something. It's pretty cheap on the TP, but basically, yeah. Instead of using the assassin pants, you can use these instead, and it just looks kind of like different because everyone kind of uses the same look for their slut mogs, and I thought this would be a little bit different, and it's kind of interesting with the racing scarf as well because I don't know, it's just like if you think of like a rabbit. Rabbits are kind of like quick, so like a racing scarf, I don't know, that's what I thought about. So yeah, I don't know, I just thought I'd add this in here because all of my skins are lacking in sexual content, I guess. I don't know. Pastel rose, by the way, is a really good pink color. I use that in my other Krytan thing. I think that's a really solid pink color, even though it's not one of the like exclusive dyes. But yeah, so white and pink, you have that bunny rabbit look. Have fun with that.